So, greeting. My name is Illya Rodin, and I'm alive to work at the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine on a Diia mobile project. In my session, I want to talk to you about our project, Diia history milestones, challenges, how we solve them, and how we see our future. So before to tell about myself, I want to say you that I'm so excited to participate in such international event. That's really important for me. Really important to feel your support of Ukraine. So at this moment, any help is very important for us. So about myself. For the last 2 years, I had been working on the Diia mobile project as chief solution architect. I still written a lot of code, and yes, I'm Android lover. So I was an Android engineer during the 8 years. What's else? It's maybe probably the only one reason why I'm in distress, but because our service that's maybe more interesting from the point of view of undercover logic, yes, communication between our cloud service and government registries, etc. Mobile client, it's not so complicated actually, but I will try to make my report is interesting for everyone. So go ahead. What is the Diia now? First of all, we are mobile first project, so mobile platform is very important for us. Maybe a lot from you know about Diia portal, a lot from you use it, but this is a different product. It has a different team, infrastructure, advantages and disadvantages. So what's else? For the last 2.5 years, our team has managed to launch near 17 electronic documents in your pocket, provide ability to use 30 plus public services for Ukrainian citizens, integrate with 1,800 third-party partners. It was commercial organization, government organization, etc. We have more than 70 million activated users and participation in a lot of Diia Health and digitalization international program. As for me, I think it's not so bad for the state or commercial service. So we don't stop, we go ahead. But right now, I want to little bit introduce you about how that started. So our entry point. Our first release was 6 February of 2020. It's maybe more was close to the beta version of our service. We provide ability to use just 6 most common electronic documents. Provide ability to authorize by banking account. So the most important feature was document verification. It's when you, with help of one Android, not Android, the application can verify document in another the application. Our backend based on Node.js TypeScript monolith service, and client was React Native. For us was important to go and check our product for viability and as soon as it's possible. And so this decision led us to choose the technology stack. Yep. So just in a couple of months after the start, we already have more than 2 million activated users. And what's else I can can add at this stage. We have like bare metal infrastructure. It's because as far as maybe you know, up to the maybe only this year, we have no laws which allow us to use public cloud services like Amazon, Google Cloud Services, or Microsoft Azure. Yes. So if you want to work with Ukrainian citizen personal data, you should use infrastructure based on and place it in a data center in Ukraine. So that's like maybe not so like popular, but it's not a problem at all. So everything possible. So go ahead. I want to little bit explain our like root principle of working of our service. It's data in transition. Yep. So we all those who work with user personal data should take care about complaints with GDPR, at least in Europe. Yeah, we don't have GDPR in Ukraine, but we have our own personal data protection law that we must comply with. This law obligates protect, encrypt, and obtain various certification for work with personal user data. So easiest way to not break this law is not to keep anything in your system. So this is the reason why in general flow we don't keep any personal data for users. Yep, we just prepare a request to the government registry based on your banking data, receive some information, and resend it to your mobile client. So in this way, we save our service from the costly resources required for this support data protection and store it and minimize risks associated with lost such data. We store just like some necessary information for maintain user session and some operational cache. This is all. Like a user personal data information is stored in the cache of the mobile device in a very simplified way. So you can use it like some documents, etc. Why? Because maybe just show some picture on your mobile phone in our application. It's actually not documents. It's just a picture. So for to prove that this is a document, you should verify it by the application or some another way. We will back to this question on the next slides. What's else? So we use only shared by you information from the trusted source. It can be banking account or government registries. We use this information only by your request right now. So at least on the cloud side, we don't cache this information. And what we don't store your data in a cloud, and we don't share your data without your approval with anybody. Summary is so no personal data, no problem. Go ahead. First release, first issues, yes. Most document, so first issue is issue related to the document structure inconsistency. Most user documents has a long history before becoming a year document. So in our case, document changed many times structure, fill it in many language, fill it in a both way by hand and through PC. So all this makes the fact that the structure of the documents become very unpredictable, and this is especially noticeable on a large pool of users. So even if 1 million users has good structure of document, all required attributes, etc., this does not guarantee that 1 million first user will not lose part of the document's attributes because he received this document at the time when this kind of the data was not yet added to structure. So how we solved that? We investigated each case on an individual basis, adapted our data mappers for such cases, worked closely with the support service in order to get as many information about each incident as possible and eliminate it. Next issue related to the server responsiveness. The big issue was the performance of registries. Everybody understands that the usual case for state informational service are not usually they not hurry up. Yes, so all processes are stable by decades. Loads and are determined along with changes in the demographics of country populations, etc. So everything very predictable and stable. But it's up to the moment when you provide for user ability to request your data from the registries so often how he wants. For example, some people requested more than 100 requests per hour just for display some documents. So this problem was created or was solved by the creation of the document cache on a mobile client side. Each document in our service has its own expiration time, which controlled by the server side, and it's not we not requested document from the registry yearly that it's necessary. And only in scenarios which which required document verification, we make direct request to the registry for the receive proof proof of availability of this document. Yes, so we don't want and don't must break chain of trustability to this document. We really might request each time when you flip your document to the barcode or QR code for scanning. Yes. So what's next? Next problem at the beginning was low user engagement. So average session time was near 17 seconds. Why? Well, actually, because we have no too many features, only verification. That's like some policeman stop you, ask to show your document, verify it, and go ahead. So that's all. So we continue to improve our service. We added new features. We added new documents, etc. What's next? The next big milestone for us was release Diia 2.0. It was 5 October of 2020. We added a couple new documents, 2 new public service, included payment for traffic fines. We added also integration with our third-party partners for document sharing and validation. At the start, it was two big banks and two mail service. Also, we migrate to the microservice architectures based on molecular framework and implement a lot of infrastructure improvements. And what else? Also, we switched to the native mobile clients. We up to this moment we got a lot of different complex screen. We got cryptography and working. It means we begin working with low-level code. So such things are much easier to develop and maintain on native codes. So we say to Reactive Native goodbye and to start write real mobile application. What's about our migration to microservice? That this gave us ability to more accurate scales the number of our services depends on demand, because you understand that some documents and services more popular, some less popular. So it's like a good to divide flow by different way for to more good balance system performance. And also it's gave to us ability to more easy extend our service mesh, add new features, new service, etc. But the biggest deal was is acquire API. What is acquire API? This is actually what we are using each time when confirm our posts in Nova Posta or enter to some banking account and sharing document with this bank. So this is a special API for sharing documents and document metadata outside of the Diia cloud to the third-party services. How this generally works? So first of all, we provide some special API for our partners. For to become our partners, you should write some contract with us. We will give you access, and you can start working with us by this flow. How does work? It works as follows. As an organization connected to us, you should make requests and offer our user to share some documents. This request is unique. It have time to live near 3 minutes, so it can be reused twice, even if somebody stolen request data. User should confirm this action, and after that we will make requests for your data to the registries. As soon as we will receive it, we will sign and encrypt this data to the requester public certificate. It's like asymmetric cryptography. And after that, we will return this encrypted package to the user side on a mobile client. User should one more time confirm that he's ready to send this data to the requester. And after that, we will send data package to the requester integration point. Why we send data from the user device and not from the backend? Because everything's simple. Because we don't store your personal data. This is like a taboo for us. So of course, up to this date, this server because more complicated. We added a lot of ability to share by different scenarios, by QR code, by barcode, by deep link, by some static QR code, etc. Even we have ability now to use backend to backend communication for sharing data package, but it's just for some special requester like another government organization. But generally, everything will work as I described it on this slide. What's next? These improvements brings up new challenges. Yes, first challenges, it's like so we became a popular, more than 5 million users. It's so more user, more troubles, and we have put a lot of efforts into making appropriate monitoring and logging for our service. We monitor quality of work for all connected registries. We have a chat with representatives of all state departments in order to respond to troubles as quickly as possible and eliminate them. What's next? Partners on onboarding and support. Generally, so for to onboard new partner, it's take near 2 weeks. Yep. Also, it's required to have some person with required scope of documents in team of this partner organization for the bug proposals, etc. So how we solve them? We created special sandbox environment. On this environment available some synthetic personality with full scope of document, and it's very simplified process of partners onboarding. Next challenge, it's we even more have inconsistency in document structure data. So the biggest part of this inconsistency related to the document what's like a manual filled by some operator, and how we solve this problem. We find we added just alternative data sources. So yes. We reviewed our approach to the solve problem with documents. It's actually impossible to predict all issues related to document structured data. So your data mappers schemas will be very complicated and actually not working in real life. So we just review everything, and if we don't receive some required data, we try alternative source for receive it. In general, it's helps to solve a lot of issues. And maybe the last challenge and this milestone is data protection. So we became more popular. We had to not only display information, but also provide services, which means that there is a sense to try to hack us. So in order to be more self-confident, we regularly act security audit by the external companies, and also we are working by the security software development lifecycle. So we check builds for vulnerabilities. We have multiple levels restricted access to the infrastructure based on the roles in the team. We follow OWASP recommendation, etc. We try to be up to date. Next it's it can be called by Diia 2.5. It's next our big release, which was 17 May 2021. At this release, we added even more public services and additional way for authentication in the system by the biometric documents and NFC. it's actually more help the people who don't have banking accounts for some reasons and some expat. What next? We added user identification by the face, Diia sign, document sharing by static QR code, public petition, sandbox for partners, multi-cloud backend, and everybody loved this, European digital COVID certificates. I want to add more details to what's really Diia sign. So Diia sign is a full function qualified electronic signature. So you can use it for sign any restricted documents, user authorization, etc. It's based on our state standard of technical conditions 4145. It's like a little bit different to the common European cryptography, but we are on the way to support it too. What's next? From the technology point of view, it's distributed between client and security network crypto model K. So there is no place where you have this K in assembled form. Yep, it's distributed into parts. Only this part can be connected only by the service logic. In addition to that, this key is secured by the user password, and so no one know all required data for assembly this key and sign with it for something. We are currently working for implement Diia sign based on ESC DCSA cryptography standard. So I think very soon we will show for you how it will work. What's next? Next, it's face verification. I know everybody love it. So how that's work? When user when user authorized in our service, we get the feature point from the passport photos and we'll use it for your face verification. On a client side, we use it ML kit from the Firebase for the liveness control. A lot of users call it gymnastic, and we have a lot of problem with that. On a server side, we also use some special neural network for anti-spoofing control. So all of that is making this service alive. What's next? Next, we are talking about a little bit about some challenges on this stage. First of all, it's low user conversion on a face verification. Part of this issue related to the fact that we are using passport photo. So a lot of people very different looks on this photo if compared to the real life, especially if you like use some plastic surgery. Yes. So in this case, only the one way to make it working for you, it's update your passport photo. For all in other cases, we are working to like improve yes our neural network and at like less restricted thresholds for to making decisions process and generally that's help. On the next iteration of this service, we even more refactor it, but more refactored everything. But we will back to this one of the next slide. Next challenge is fast user base growth. So we, with help of COVID certificates, grown in 5 times. Our DAU grown in 5 times just for half years. That's was very hard to predictable from the infrastructure point of view, and we spent a lot of efforts to scaling our backend infrastructure, refactoring, eliminate some bottlenecks, improve service flow, simplify some approaches, and improve communication protocols. And the last challenge, it's user data security. So we have qualified electronic signature. It means that you can make a lot of big deals with this feature, and it can be a problem. So we continue to participate in audit programs. We start bug bounty programs. We spent a lot of time to investigate each of incident related to our service, predict potential hacking points and eliminate them, and assemble a red team for continuous monitoring of potential vulnerabilities. What's next? Next was Diia Summit 2022. It's like a small milestone on the way to Diia 3.0. We added 4 new public services, pools. We updated our infrastructure. We, at this moment, have DGCC integration, implement some mass notification service, and new face verification flow. New face verification flow. So we try to simplify everything. We spent a lot of efforts to configure each attribute which required for this service work. Added advanced environment control. What it means that we calculate your elimination, physical position, and physical position. Also calculates a lot of metrics related to your face. For iOS, we are using deep sensor, like a liveness control, etc. Neural network currently we are using on both sides, so on the client and the server side, and also we try to minimize interaction with user, and it's like a significant increase number of success case for using this service. What's next? New infrastructure. So we started from the 1 data center. Now we have 2 data center. We have 4 communications channel. Not 4, 2. Yes, we have 3 times more hardware resources. Both data center currently is working in active mode. So it means that even we lost one from them, second should fully cover all needed resources. And everything became more complicated, more powerful, and more stable. It's actually answering the question about TWAR. So Diia TWAR. For us, everything became from the stage. We was 24 hours per 7 days in the week under the attack. Actually, this attack not so make us hard, because that any modern infrastructure very easy solves the problem, denial access attack, etc. So we detect everything. We set up our firewall to protect us, but it's like spread our resources on some not important things and waste our time. Next challenge was like it's evacuation for registries. So only bank ID system worked at the beginning of war. All registries evacuated to the west of Ukraine in more safety place, and nobody can tell when they back. But at the same time, large number of refugees without any documents and a lot of saboteurs with paper documents stolen in an occupied zone of South and East Ukraine. Made a lot of troubles. So on the request of Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, Force of Territorial Defense, and police, we find solution. So we produce your document or your ID. This document, it's actually not real documents. It's just a substitution for the time when we have no access to the registries. But it's working, and even our Western partners use it for identify our refugees. So this document based on the banking data, it's at the base use European Digital Green COVID certificates protocol, so it's fully compatible. And if you want to scan your document, you should not implement something new. You can use your simple COVID scanner with some small modification. It's available offline, and it supports offline verification. What next? Next, Diia goes to counter-offensive. So we launch Diia TV and Diia Radio to communicate with our citizens and inform them about every changes at the front. We launch donates program in United 24. We launch a lot of programs in alliance with our Western partners to help our refugees. For this moment, near 8 countries is working to recognize our document and implement data sharing mechanism in their clouds. So we are connected them like partners to us. Also, we launch Yevorach. It's a service for reports about the enemy to the Delta system, which managed by the Ministry of Defense. Lost and damaged properties service, and just for fun, Bayraktar games. This games created by our partners. So we just fill it in our application like additional model. What's next? It's more about our plan to future. So for this moment, we participation in EID wallet consortium European. This consortium is include near maybe at this moment already 17 countries. So the main idea is to have common Europe electronic identification wallet. Each country want to support cross-border recognition for documents, share them, etc. So the main idea is that you can, for example, activate your Diia documents going to the Portugal and rent a car with your Ukrainian driver license. What's next? It's internalization. So at the nearest time, Diia became English speaking. One more sidecar project, it's your residence. So you can become a resident of Ukraine. Maybe the most biggest and important for us project is Diia Bank. So we plan to start like some finance service. Next one, it's I already mentioned about that. It's RSA and EKDSA cryptography support, in addition to our state cryptography. And at the last, as far as I know, in our country we have near 1,200 public services for citizens, not digitalization. So the main goal is digitalize everything. So I think we have a lot of work in future with that, and this is pretty good. So this is all. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your support. Slava Ukraini, and I'm ready to answer any question.
Героям слава, Ilya. Thank you for your presentation. It was great to have a sneak peek on how the digital country is working. Like, it's probably like the most impressive part for me was how fast your team is moving along, like adding new features, releasing 2.0 versions and 2.5, and like already planning new versions. How big is your team? How big is the team behind Diia platform?
You will be surprised, but it's nearly 20 people.
For the platform and mobile application, or only mobile application?
Oh, mobile application. But I mean, that's like so we have a three engineer team, backend, and two separate team for mobile project. It's 9 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have 3 infrastructure guys, 3 QA guys, project manager, 3 business analyzers, and that's all. And me, actually.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Like, what is the split between people working on Android and iOS client? Is it like equal, or some, like one of those platforms requires more engineers?
You know, the best engineer is always on Android platform. Yes. Actually, no. I already mentioned that our mobile part is not so complicated. It's a backend part, so
Yep.
that's like
where the
more.
challenge is.
Yeah, more. Our mobile client is more about a lot of screens and how organize work with a lot of visual widgets, styles, font size, etc.
That's right. Makes total sense.
Yeah. Yes, and our last, maybe future challenge is translation on the English, and you know it's not only about our mobile. It's maybe about general. It's a general challenge for us. When you're working on a government project, you can do something only because you want, or only because it's cool, or only because you hear about that on some conference, and now you can try how that's work. Yes, for each label, behind each label, button, screen design or function in our service is stay some law or ministry.
Right.
Ministry note or some cross ministry specification, etc. So
it sounds like the approval of any feature or any button is quite a challenge for you. It's like again, it's impressive to see how fast you manage to iterate.
Sometimes Ukrainian like Верховна Rada, yes, should vote for your button.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I'm not complaining about review process in my company anymore. Thank you, Ilya. Actually, last quick question we have for that one. Just like 1 minute left. What's going to be the next game about after Bayraktar? People were very keen to learn that. We should probably come up with that.
You will can play like a crypto broker.
Yeah, that was actually an interesting question. I believe we touched that in one of our preparation sessions about adding bank to the application. Anyway, thank you so much for your presentation. There is like number of questions your way. Like, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but Illya is joining breakout rooms. So if you are keen to talk to Illya and ask all of your questions that we didn't have time to ask online, please join breakout rooms. And Illya is going to join in just a couple of minutes after taking a quick break. Thank you so much, and see you in a bit.